This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the psychological horror Longlegs. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
I was excited to show you this one because, I mean, I like Nicolas Cage.
I didn't know he was in it. I didn't know until I looked up the movie afterwards that was Nicolas Cage.
That's so funny. Especially, I don't know. I feel like if you rewatched it, it's all you could hear when you,
Thinking back on it, it definitely is him. It's just, they did so well on the prosthetics that, would not have guessed it.
Well, and he doesn't usually play that role, you know what I mean? Or, he didn't for the longest time.
Oh, he said he never wants to again.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to play a serial killer again.
Fair enough. I mean, it's pretty hefty, but, So, I don't even know where to start, because this movie is, there's a lot to it, but it's also just, one of those, cut and dry stories, from, point A to point B for the most part.
It's way more cut and clear than the last few movies we've done, for sure.
100%.
Even there's one storyline, there's flashbacks, but not as intense of, with weapons, where it's kind of going back to the start at the end of each POV, right? You kind of go back to the start of the story and have to relive it.
Yeah,
and with this one, there's just flashbacks that pertain to a specific thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you more context for the scene that just happened or those kinds of things.
But I mean, even it opens up and it's just it's the 4x3 old film look where it's just the box.
The 8mm film strip type deal.
Yeah. And it opens up looking at this house and it's really gorgeous. It's covered in snow and it's this
2-story white, idyllic little farmhouse almost.
Yeah, it's out in the woods, and it's eerie because the music is very whiny. It's very I can't remember what it's called, but
it's that off-putting high-pitched tones.
Yeah,
the
jumping up and down, but not it's hard to describe. I meant to look at more of the captions for what it was saying for those sounds, but there were so many of them that my brain just jumbled them up.
There was a lot happening. I take notes during the movie and I had to pause so many times to be I need to catch up on the notes, or oh my god, what did I miss? Let's rewind. And like I said, I was watching this with my wife and she was like, holy shit. And I was like, I was writing my notes, wait.
Yeah, it's creepy because you see this car driving up to this house.
The old style, sedan,
yeah,
wood paneling,
an old family sedan.
Yep.
But you can't see the driver and it just pulls up at the edge of the road. It cuts to this girl, this little girl inside of her bedroom in the house, and she's drawing or whatever.
Yep.
And she looks outside and sees the car and grabs her camera, goes down and gets dressed to go out in the snow, you would imagine a 10-year-old girl putting on a snow coat and all, her boots and all that, her gloves. And she goes out there, which first of all, I was terrified of strangers knocking on my door as a kid, let alone seeing a car in my front yard and not knowing whose it is, being I'm gonna go outside and just.
There is context for that we learn later, though.
Yes, and that's fair, but as of right now, I'm sitting here the fuck is this girl doing?
So when she went out there, I thought, my first thought was, oh, she knows it. Whoever's in the car. They were waiting for whoever's in the car and she's going to meet them. She's staring at the car. Nothing happens. No one comes out of the car. She walks away from the car.
Yeah, she walks over to I don't know if it's maybe the edge of her driveway versus where the car was down the road a tiny bit.
Yeah, I think the car was on a a road that passes the house and she was in the yard.
Yeah. But yeah, she walks over and she looks around and doesn't see anything, but it gives that jarring high note when it changes perspective. So she looks to her left and then it hits you with a fucking note as if something's there, but there's nothing. So it already is oh god, okay, well, fuck me, I guess. This sucks. And she looks to her right and it does the same thing and there's nothing there. And then she looks back and it's this fucking dude
dressed in a white suit, right?
Yeah, a
cream, off-white, it's weird.
Yeah.
He's got a button down and a blazer and jeans on or something.
Yeah.
And he's.
But you don't see his eyes or nose. You only see from the mouth down.
Yeah. And
it startles the fuck out of you.
He's so creepy too. He's saying nonsense. and
Like,
says something, and
when's
then
your birthday, little girl? Like, he talks in like high pitched, like almost like
where it's still deep yet high pitch at the
yeah, it's
same
like a
time.
bit breathy. He's like, hey there, little girl, like that kind of thing. It's a bit, it's fucking
It's weird.
gross.
It's so weird. And like there were a bunch of people calling this movie transphobic because of Nick Cage's character.
That's weird because it is a very androgynous character. Like he's got long curly hair and like
The slightly feminine pitched male voice.
yes, and like they gave him the pursed lips a little bit more, like some plump lips. Like yeah, so I don't know. Some people are just fucking stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it came down to. As people in the queer community,
Mm-hmm.
like I did not get transphobic vibes from this at all.
Mm-mm.
And then I like listened to or saw like an interview with Nick Cage, and his mom was the inspiration for this character.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I guess she had
hated to know Nick
she
Cage.
had something like, was it dementia or schizophrenia or something? She had like a mental illness that really affected the way she acted and behaved, and so he kind of called it like an homage to his mom, and the director kind of said the same thing of like this was made for their moms.
Interesting. That's very interesting because like it's creepy because he does this, like, again, he's kind of talking just like weird cryptic, like, I mean, he does ask like when her birthday is, but then like he like does this like, oh well, how about if I just, and then he like drops into frame for half a second and then it cuts to black and it's fucking creepy. Like it just hits you with like this like flash, so you don't get a good enough look, but it gives your brain long enough to like give it a face to try and piece together.
Yeah.
But it like, I don't know, it's almost like the beginning of AI when some like AI would try to make a face and it would just be like a fucking blurred mess almost. Like that's what your brain does to this because it's how fast it happens. And then it goes into like the intro.
Yeah, we get a black screen and it says part 1 on it. And we open to, I said a police conference, but it's actually an FBI briefing.
Yes.
About a suspect and how he's alone, white male, your stereotypical, criminal minds perp of a straight white male, has a gun, is extremely dangerous type deal. And as like you kind of see people around the room, there is only one woman in this entire
the camera's
group.
Focused on her. Yeah.
And
it's literally just protagonist Lee Harker.
And I did not know her first name for a hot second, and so my entire notes say Harker.
She already in this like briefing has a bit of a 1,000-yard stare. Maybe not all the way 1,000 yards, but I mean she's like, it's like a 500-yard stare at this point.
Yeah.
It almost looks like she's got a lot of like trauma almost. Does that make sense?
Very like trauma. I thought she had a personal connection right off the bat because of the way like she's sitting in this meeting and like how you're talking about with the face. It seemed to me like, oh, maybe she was the lead detective on this case, and so this whole briefing is like she's like, I don't even need to be here type deal. Like I know
that's
all of
fair.
that.
It's more like she's 2 steps ahead and is just kind of like, what the fuck ever. That makes sense because it is like it's like a blank stare almost of just like, well, just like waiting for this to be over, But then like it cuts to her and her partner in the car, and like he's talking about like, oh, like you want me to go knock on doors and you can like hold back in the car, because like during the briefing the chief is like, oh, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way, like go knock on doors and like this and that. And so partner is like, I'll go knock on the doors if you want to just hang back in here. And she's like, okay.
And the thing like with her too is she's monotone in a way that isn't disinterested. It's I think you were spot on with the whole like she has so much going on because she's just like nods at him, and it's like very almost like a trauma patient or like a trauma child, like someone who's dealt with a lot of trauma. The way she just like interacts isn't exactly how you expect or like how you normally see maybe an FBI agent like interact with someone.
There's a numbness to her that even like, that's why I called it like the 1,000-yard stare, because like that's what war veterans have when they've seen like horrific battle. That's kind of what she has. It's like this, I don't know, and it's not like she's depressed either, because you can tell the difference between someone who's like sad or depressed versus
Mm-hmm.
like you just have this thing like over your shoulder that's like weighing on you
Yeah, and
like heavily.
my thought with this, and going back to Criminal Minds, is there's a character in Criminal Minds who decides to be an FBI agent because her dad was a serial killer.
Oh,
And so they have
interesting.
a whole episode where they take her to the profile room, and like she gets to be a profiler and help them with a serial killer who they
Mhm.
think is a suburban dad, and like how to kind of suss him out.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like to me, is like she has a very personal connection to whatever is happening, and like her trauma is weighing on her in a very specific way.
Yeah.
And that's the only
100%.
thing I can like describe it as. But
Yeah.
she doesn't wait in the car very long.
No.
She almost instantly gets out as soon as her partner's in the house, and she's like looking this way and that down the street.
It's just a very empty like
It looks like
lot of houses.
yeah, like a very suburban street, like compact suburban street.
Mhm.
Like there's not a lot of front yards. They're all, almost like a new build complex where they're right next to each other.
Yeah.
And she steps out of her car and looks around, and then like instantly clocks this one house that has an upstairs like attic area, and she's like just zones in on it,
Yeah, she's
staring
beaming on
directly
it.
at it. And her partner comes out and says like, "Oh, nothing there, whatever. Like, should we move on?" And she points to that house and says, "He's in there." Like straight up, zero hesitation. She's like, "He's in there," and dude's like,
She's like, "We
Okay.
got to call it in." And he's like, "The fuck you mean? Like,
Yeah.
we can't call this in
There's
on
nothing.
a hunch
Yeah.
on our first day. Like, you're crazy." He's like, he says something like, "Well, I'll go and knock on the door if it'll make you feel any
yeah, like
better."
I'll check it out or something. And so he goes up and knocks on the door, and
She follows behind him.
but
so
it's
she's
like at a distance. Like she
Yeah,
doesn't
so-
go up with him.
she's like at the edge of their like walkway, and he's like up at the front door, but the door's like kind of tucked away on the side.
Yeah, and he knocks, and you can hear some thumping behind, like inside the house, but no one comes to the door for a while. And that's where she like starts creeping up a little bit more, like, oh, that's weird. And then all you hear is a gunshot, and FBI agent is shot on sight.
Yeah, just I mean, like boom, his like it happens quickly because
Door
he's like,
opens.
"Hey, excuse me, do you have a sec?" Boom,
Yeah.
and like he falls over, and she fucking reels, and she pulls out her gun. She proceeds to go into this house, obviously,
Mhm.
and
And it's like in the middle of like a remodel or
Yeah,
something. There's
like-
plastic sheets everywhere, and she scans the rooms, clears the bottom floor before she goes upstairs. Like has her wits about her. She's breathing like extremely hard, but I mean, your partner just got shot.
when your partner just got shot, your heart's racing. Like you kind of have to catch your heart rate at that point and try to like breathe
Mhm.
heavily and deeply in order to like stay calm.
Exactly.
So
and
like that's what she's doing as she's going through and like upstairs. Again, everything's covered in plastic, but like she walks up to this one door and it's open, and there's just a dude sitting on the bed like looking towards the window opposite of the door.
Mhm.
It's just like creepy as fuck. She just like tells him to put his hands up or something like that, and he like, I don't remember what he says.
He raises his hand and says like, "I won't hurt you," or "I'm unarmed," or something like that.
Something like that.
And then it cuts, and she's sitting in a room now being asked a bunch of questions while like pictures flash on screen.
Yeah, so
And
they're telling her like say the first word that comes to mind, and they're flashing all these images in front of her face, but she's giving very clear answers for every image.
Yeah, like the one that stuck out to me the most, and they pause on it for a second, is like, and it's in that 8mm 4:3 ratio,
Mhm.
aspect ratio, and like the top 3/4 of it is orange, the bottom part is like red or black, and then there's like a sun, and she says tiger. And so like those are the kind of answers she's giving to these very abstract pictures flashing, and they just keep flashing, and she has to keep answering. And at one point they're like, "Oh, pick a number has been picked between 1 and 100, and pick the number." And then she like guesses a bunch, and it just goes through this for a few minutes before
Cutting again.
yeah, it cuts to her in the back of a vehicle with two other agents. We have Agent Carter, who is actually the director, I think, of the
Mhm.
FBI, or at least heading this case she's working on.
Mm-hmm.
And then Agent Browning, who is driving. And they're staking out a house, it seems like.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just like shooting the shit for a little bit, not talking about anything really important. And then they kind of start addressing her in the backseat.
I think I'm actually getting a little ahead.
He asks her how she beat the number generator 3 times.
Oh, yes.
And she says, well, I missed it 8. And he's like, well, half psychic is better than not being psychic. Oh, Jesus. Not being psychic at all.
Mm-hmm.
And he then points to the house they're kind of staking out and tells her about the case they're working on. And this is where a family of 4 had died.
Mm-hmm.
Well, murder-suicide. And
that's right. They talk about that first.
Yeah, where it's just like family annihilator style, where like dad killed his wife and children and then killed himself, but they don't really think it was a family annihilator.
Like 61 stab wounds into the wife, and then she was like, how many in the kids? And he was like, you can read that yourself.
Yeah,
like,
he did not want to talk about it. And then he killed himself. Did he slit his wrists or shoot himself? He did something
like that. The husband, after killing the whole family. Yeah.
But then they say like the dad was murdered, not suicide.
Because they don't. The dad didn't like kill himself. It like they didn't rule it out as a suicide. It was like he was also
murdered, but they couldn't find anything to indicate that. And so then they go into explaining Longlegs.
It cuts into what's his name's Carter's office, and he is now like debriefing Lee on the whole Longlegs case. You know, he's explaining that like
there have been 10 families, 10 letters have been left. If you know anything about the Zodiac Killer, this is very Zodiac Killer-esque.
There's like cryptic letters that are like
written in code, and it's not even letters, they're like symbols.
They're always signed in regular English, Longlegs at the end. And
so she's like looking at all of this.
He also mentions that all the victims share the same birthday. They all lie on the 14th of any given month. So it's not like...
So the daughters.
Yes. The daughters of every single one of these families, their birthdays all lie on the 14th of any given month.
Hey, and guess what? That's my birthday.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Literally pointed that out, and my wife looked at me and she's like, you just escaped. And I was like, yeah, I hope so. I'm 30.
Yeah.
She is like she's staring at these letters and everything like pinned to a case board, right? And she's like looking at everything, and he's asking her to describe the story she sees and like kind of explain what's happening, then asks her to describe her psychic powers. Like, how does she get these inklings? And the way she describes it is it's like someone's standing behind her telling her what's going on.
Yeah.
Or like kind of like tapping on her to be like, oh, this is important, or that's important.
Like pointing her in the right direction.
It's not like she gets the full story. She kind of just gets directed in a path.
It's not like a spider sense. It's not like she gets the tingle and then is like, oh, like it must be over here. Like it's as if, she says it's as if something's like tapping her on the shoulder, leading her somewhere.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. And thinking about that now after watching it, Jesus, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and
we'll get to it, but
that.
like...
She ends up spending just a long time, like, looking over a lot of the case photos, and like...
While that's happening, we're like, there's a 911 call playing over while she's looking at all these case or evidence photos, and then like evidence photos start snapping, like quick cutting in front of you of just like it does the like camera shutter, and you get to see one and then another, and it's like all of these bodies covered in white sheets and like just creepy,
all sorts of different creepy fucking shit.
They look so good. They look so close to like real evidence photos that it was a little jarring.
Yeah, they do a great job with the special effects, and like the props and everything they use for this movie are like so well done.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And the practical effects are also really well done.
Yeah.
The biggest part of the 911 call is when the dad is like, she's not my daughter. That's not my daughter.
Yeah.
The phone call's really weird because it's a dad calling, talking about his daughter, and is like, that's not my daughter. He specifically says, that is not my daughter. And goes off on this whole thing about like how he needs to handle the situation, or like she needs to be killed or something like that.
Yeah.
And you hear him bludgeon his entire family.
It's creepy.
And then at the end of that call, a new call starts up, and it's almost the exact same.
And it starts to like kind of echo like screams and like, you know, these sounds of like these murders happening and like these calls, and you know, it all kind of swells up, and then fucking Carter walks through the door and is like, bitch, what the fuck? You've been at this way too long. Like, I think he says something like, There's something is staring for too long,
Yeah.
which, yeah, in those cases, like, there's a reason they supply those workers with a lot of mental health benefits because,
I
like,
fucking hope so.
they can't just sit there and stare at that all day and not have some sort of psychological damage.
I mean, she fell asleep looking at all of that. She's
Yeah.
like curled up in the middle of the
Yeah, you're gonna
evidence,
dream
asleep.
about that shit. But like, he comes in and he's like, nah, like, fuck this. Like, I'm gonna take you out.
We're
and
getting drinks.
We're gonna get drinks, and you're gonna tell me what you've come up with.
Yeah, and so while they're out, they start talking, or Carter gets a drink and has Harker start telling him what she noticed, and the murder weapons were all weapons of convenience. They were all items from the family home. Only Jesus.
It wasn't like,
it was like a kitchen knife, a hammer,
a screwdriver,
a gun, everything, but it was all owned by the family. Nothing new was brought into the crime scene.
Yeah.
There weren't any other fingerprints. There was nothing to indicate that Longlegs was ever even there.
Yeah.
Because it was all like the father's fingerprints, or fingerprints that should have been there.
But again, the dad also gets killed in this equation. So it's like,
so how did he do it from afar?
Yeah, and
Harker talks about how like Longlegs must have told the fathers what he wanted from them without actually being there.
It's a lot of information.
Oh.
Like, she's trying to like really like solve this case right fucking now. Like, you know.
Yeah, my notes confused me. They bring up Manson.
Oh, that's
right. And I read
right.
it as Mason, and that's why I was confused. They bring up Manson and how Manson was he never killed anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone killed themselves for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an interesting comparison, especially the movie is based in 93.
Yeah.
And so when did Manson happen?
I don't even know. But I mean, there was a lot of culty shit going on around then. I can't remember the name, but it like that fucking commune, that dude just taking like 50
Jamestown?
wives. Was it Jamestown?
Oh, 50 Wives? Oh, do you mean the one in Oregon?
Was it in Oregon? I thought there was one in Arizona.
There's...
This
goes to the point of we can't
like,
talk about all of them because there's so freaking many.
Yeah, but like, it's around the time where it's almost, because it was before the age of like security cameras and like cameras being fucking everywhere, more people got away with shit.
Well,
so like, that's when a lot of this shit was just like behind doors, like at its fucking peak in some ways. Like, even more so back in like the 50s and 60s. And I think we touched on that briefly in another episode. I think it might have been Barbarian, actually, because it cuts back to like the 60s.
Oh yeah, and how
like,
he could just
how he could just get away with kidnapping a lady because
there were no CCTV or anything like that. And so it's very Manson-esque, and I don't remember if I read that being one of the inspirations, but the movie Seven was an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Silence of the Lambs was another inspiration, and there's one more, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, and I forgot to write it down. But including all of those and kind of like thinking down those pathways, and then having the context, because someone tried to say this was in the 80s during like Satanic Panic and like the cult stuff, and no, Bill Clinton is president. You can see him clearly in multiple shots, and the first year he was president is 93.
That also bled into the 90s. Like,
I think
Satanic Panic bled into the early 2000s in some ways. It didn't really like fucking shut down until like mid to late 90s, I think.
I think the more so of like in the police force. There was a chunk of time where they're like, oh my God, everything is Satanism.
Yes.
And they were just arresting people left and right and like blaming Satan for everything. And I think by the 90s, late 90s, it was like, there to this day, as far as I know, has never been a true satanic cult.
Yes.
And so it's a whole thing of like, Satan gets blamed for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So they have this whole conversation at the bar, and then she ends up needing to drive Carter home because he's drunk.
Can't even stand up. Like, he stands up and starts wobbling.
Yeah, so she drives him home, and then they're like outside his house, and he's like, you gonna come in and meet my wife and daughter? And she's like, do I have to? And he just looks at her and goes, yeah. And then fucking gets out the car, and I'm like, you know what? I'd be in her situation, be like, do I fucking have to? Like,
the only thing I can think of is like, she's the only female FBI agent, which isn't true, because we have Browning.
Yeah.
And we have a few others, but she's like the only one on this case, so I don't know, because we don't really see Browning very much.
She's the only one that's like, She's the only
field agent.
female she's the only female field agent, I think.
And so the way I saw it was he was like, come meet my wife. Like, you're not alone. Like, let me introduce you to some people. Maybe you can talk to my wife. It's kind of the way I saw it, of like someone who kind of also understands like the FBI, because like she doesn't have a partner or anything, like
it's
a
not
romantic partner. She's alone here. Like, she moved here for this job and stuff. So I kind of saw it as like, let me introduce you to some people you can have like a support system with, especially because
that's fair.
Her partner was just shot, so like the closest person she was to is gone now.
That's fair.
That's kind of what I saw it as.
And that makes sense, especially.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, and it does continue into like the next scene. So if you want to say your thing.
My other thing was, I'm working with a female FBI agent. I need to introduce you to my wife.
That's also fair, because if you're gonna be closely working with a woman on a case like that, you're gonna be around them all the time. Like, you're going to be staking out with them late nights, maybe. You want to create a circle of trust between your partner and your new partner. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that, like, he's going about it the right way. So that's fair.
I saw it either one of those two ways. But she walks into the house. Mom and daughter are both there. Daughter, they call her Miss Ruby, which I think is so cute that they always call her Miss Ruby. So they get introduced, and Ruby's like, you want to see my room? And poor Harker, like... Yeah,
it's one of those, like, you just go along with it because you have to, but you're screaming on the inside because it's just one of those things.
She didn't even want to be here, and now she's got to go hang out with this little girl by herself.
Yeah.
Like, she's not happy about any of it. And this little girl, for her credit, is it, she asks good questions.
Yeah.
She's like, is it hard being like the only FBI agent, or like that? This kind
the only
of things.
Girl FBI agent, something like that. And she's like,
"Are you scared?" Like all of these, like
she's real ass questions.
Yeah, like she's genuinely interested in her. And Ruby, at the end of it, because Mom comes in, and I can't remember Mom's name at the moment. I don't have it written down right here.
She's like, "Can she come to my birthday party?"
And her mom's like, "I don't know. Why don't you ask her?" And poor Harker just like deadpan stares, like, "I'll be there."
Yep.
She got dragged into so much shit. All she wanted to do was talk about this case, and it's not happening.
Yeah, after that, she ends up leaving. She's smoking cigarettes on the way home, listening to music, and then she's at home in this kind of like cabin.
It's very cabin vibes, yeah.
Thing, like out in the woods. And first of all, again, you live by yourself. Blinds are open in the middle of the night. Like,
all of her blinds.
Fucking close your blinds. It's not that hard.
So in the front of her house, like, the entire wall is windows. And there are windows everywhere. And as soon as you turn those damn lights on, everyone can see into your entire living room. It can see, it's an open layout house almost. They can see you across your entire freaking house.
It's one of those spaces. I do almost think that she's not in a neighborhood. She's in a cabin in the woods. Or like she's in a house that is in the woods. It's not just like...
It looked like she had neighbors, but they weren't very close by.
Yeah.
So not like Twilight in the middle of the woods.
No, but like
maybe a few acres to yourself, so your neighbors are a few acres away type deal.
Yeah, so like at that point you'd expect some privacy maybe because you have like all of that space and no one should be on your land anyway. I don't fucking know.
We've talked about this in a bunch of other movies.
Close your fucking blinds, dude. It's not that hard.
It's creepy that you have them open, all right?
Yeah.
So she's like
going over some shit, and then she calls her mom. Her mom's weird.
Her mom is so weird because she's like, "It's me, Mom," and she's like, "Lee?
Yeah, your only daughter. Like,
who else would it be?"
Yeah.
And so I thought off the bat, I was like, "Oh, Mom has dementia."
Yeah, and because she's like, "Well, what'd you do today?" And she's like, "Sit around the house, like I always fucking do." Like, her mom's sounds a little out of it too. So yeah, you're like, oh, she's probably like dealing with something mentally.
Yeah, she sounds maybe like a little on, like maybe a little medicated or something like that. I wasn't sure if she lived at home or was like in a home type deal, because it sounded like talking to someone who wasn't all there. As she's on the phone with her mom, you can hear like these nondescript whispers.
Yeah.
Of just enough that you can hear the sound but can't make out what they're saying.
Yeah.
And
it kind of like hits her a little bit. She kind of like, while she's on the phone, she like kind of looks over to the side a little bit, but is still focused on the, the phone call. And then there's
a loud bang on
her front door. And she's like, okay, well, I gotta fucking go, Mom. Like, I'm
Yeah,
chat with you later.
it's fine. And hangs up on her mom.
Yeah. She goes up and
says hello, but doesn't answer the door.
yeah,
Goes.
She doesn't look out and like
she doesn't look out the peephole that she has. She just chain locks it.
Yeah, she just locks it, and she walks like as she's walking, she looks through a window and sees the shadow of this figure out like in the fucking woods.
Yeah.
Maybe like 30, 45 feet away from the house.
It's enough to see the silhouette and see that it's a person shape, but not close enough to be able to see anything descriptive.
Yeah.
Like you can't make out a hair shape or like a really much of anything, not even
it's
like a
just
body
a black human blob.
Yeah.
And so she like panics. She grabs her gun. Well, she doesn't panic, but she like gets scared, obviously. Goes and grabs her gun, and she goes outside. As she's like walking around the perimeter, she turns around and sees something walk through her fucking living room and like through her house, and she runs back up and like runs inside and does a check of the house, and then the phone rings again, right? Yeah, the phone rings, I think. No, maybe. No.
So she sweeps the house, goes like, Jesus. She goes inside, sweeps the house, and then when she gets back to her desk,
that's right,
she sees an envelope addressed to her, and January 14th is on it.
It says like, don't open this until January 14th.
Yeah, I am not a fast reader, and this part, like, I paused a lot, and then in like 10 minutes
yeah, no, there's a lot of things that happen very quickly, so like if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it.
Yes. So, which is fun because January 14th is my birthday.
Yeah.
And I have a little asterisk here that my prediction was Ruby's birthday is also on the 14th.
Ruby, like the daughter?
Yeah, Miss Ruby.
I
have a little asterisk that says prediction that Ruby's birthday is also the 14th. And so that's like my little sidebar that I wanted to throw in here.
Well, and Lee ends up opening.
Well, it cuts to part 2.
What
happens. So we get another black screen and it says part 2, all of your things.
Yep.
So this movie is also broken into parts, which I think is interesting because the parts don't really have a time skip to them.
No, and then it just like stops giving you parts at some point. Or like it almost feels like they should put a part 3 at a certain point and they don't.
Yeah, because we do end up getting a part 3. I think it's broken up into 3 parts.
That's okay. Yeah.
So we get the first part. The second part is just really long.
That's
is the
right.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, we get the black screen with all of your things, and she's at her desk and opens the note right away. But she does wear gloves. I was very happy that like anytime they show them doing police work, they're wearing gloves.
Right? Because we talked about this in another episode where like you will just fucking contaminate all your shit if you're not like if you're going and looking at any sort of evidence, it doesn't matter. And again, this is evidence. Like this fucking letter.
Yeah.
She opens it up and it's a birthday card.
For a 9th birthday.
On the left side it says something from the Bible. It says like
it's Revelations 13:1. I only know this because I looked it up.
No, fair enough. I
don't know it off the top of my head, but it's like standing in the sand, something with the sea. I don't know. It comes up a lot. It says that on the left side, but on the right side, it's that Zodiac style writing. And on the back, on the back, it's the Zodiac style writing with Longlegs signed on the back of it. She touches the writing and it smears, meaning it was really just recently written.
Yeah.
And the writing on the inside gives the key to the code on the back.
Yeah, so it actually like gives her
the
code to be able to like decipher this shit now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we should specify the weird Revelations first part or revelation. I guess there's not an S to it. Is the code to the key, and when she deciphers the back, it says, "Don't fucking tell anyone how you got this." Haha.
Yeah, that's a very very nice way of putting it because it says something along the lines of like, if you tell people how you figured this out, I'm going to cut off your mom's milky little tits. Something to that effect. It's fucked up. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah.
She gets called to another scene.
They're going over this case where like this family who was like supposed to go out of town for like Disney, they, you know, like that's why no one noticed them or anything, but they've been there for like a month.
Yeah.
And they take her into the bedroom and the forensics lady who was already there is like, are you sure you want to like see the bodies? And the Carter's like, yeah, she's ready. You're ready, aren't you, Lee? And then she doesn't really say anything. And
They take off the covers.
They take off the covers, and it is a very detailedly gross,
decomped body with maggots just squirming
everywhere.
in it.
Like if you're, it's gross.
Because I go through Reddit, another person was like, how did that cat survive in a carrier for a month? And I was assuming the cat wasn't in a carrier for a month. I assumed that the police officers caught the cat and put it in a carrier.
Probably, because if you, because like.
But then I have a whole question on that, because if the family was supposed to be gone, well, I guess, because they're supposed to be gone for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Did they not have anyone to come check on their cat?
Some people just leave out a bowl of food and water that's like the size of, like a huge one, and just,
I mean, we've never left our cats for longer than like 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I think the week at the longest, and then we hide 3 bowls of food around with the giant dog water bowl and then their own water.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could do longer than a week, because even then, like, we had friends stop in on them at least for one day to make sure everything was good. So that's wild to me.
We're also probably better pet owners than most people.
Maybe.
Just like, not to say that any of you out there listening aren't good pet owners. I'm just saying, like,
we overbaby
there
our
are
animals.
so many people who just do the bare minimum for their pets, and I'm like, I don't understand it, but like, whatever. We don't have to get down that, because we'll fucking talk about it for hours. We don't have hours today.
We do not. We actually have a time limit today, which is wild.
But
it cuts to her on a payphone calling her mom with another weird interaction of like, hey mom, and she's like, who's this? And she's like, Lee, still your only daughter.
Yeah. Like,
her mom is so weird on the phone calls. Then there's like some static, and the phone call gets a little like choppy and weird before her mom is like, have you said your prayers?
Oh, that's right. And she's like,
to protect her from the devil?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, mom, I've been saying my prayers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Because then it's Harker looking at old newspapers and death certificates in one of those like archive style type things where you gotta like rotate around.
Mm-hmm. Digging through for more evidence, and she actually comes up on an older case of
the Camera family.
Yeah, the Camera family farm.
We'll
get into that.
Yeah, it was in 1966. So while she's doing all of that, she is also decoding the codes from the other things.
That's right.
And she hears a weird breath like she did in her house. Sorry, my notes are so all over the place.
It's okay. My brain, again, it's a lot very fast.
There's so much that happens. So she hears a breath, and she's like in a library type situation. She looks over, and there's really nothing there. It's like a dark window. Then she picks up a Ninth Circle of Hell book.
Oh, that's right.
Using her decodings, she draws the symbol from the book on what we will learn here in a second is a calendar of the birthdays and how they line up specifically to make an inverted triangle.
She's got this layout of like the months and then their dates, and they're like in a big line, and she's circling the 14th and how they line up like on this page.
It's the day the families died, because the families die within 6 days before or 6 days after.
So she circles, or she draws a line right through the.
So it's like an A4 sheet of paper turned horizontally, and then from top to bottom she has all of these dates written down, and then at some marker, and I don't know what the marker is, she folds it in half and then draws the triangle based on that. And there's one date missing, but as she finishes her triangle, she hears a bang on the window.
That's right.
And then it cuts to her explaining all of this to Carter.
Yeah, and she's like, can't remember what she says exactly, but it's something to the effect of like, we need to go and talk to. Oh,
it's because in the decoding it says something to the effect of like, all of the fun we had at the Camera family farm.
That's right.
Where X marks the spot for something.
Sorry, I forgot to mention Longlegs in the decoding gives her a clue, saying like there's something at the Camera family farm essentially, and so she goes to Carter and is like, we need to go check this place out, and like explains how it ties up with these current murders because like this happened
so far
so far
previous.
behind.
And so Carter asks, where's the Camera family farm and where's the survivor? Because there's one survivor from the Camera family, and her name is Carrie Ann, and she is in a mental institution 100 and something miles away, and then the Camera family farm is like only 89 miles away, so they're going to go to the farm because it's closer. Once they get to the house, it's dark, desolate. Yeah. No one lives here anymore, but the barn outside light is on.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And on the barn door, there's a bunch of X's, and X marks the spot.
Yep.
So they go inside, and the camera, we haven't talked about it at all, this movie, but the way the camera zooms in on shit, and you expect something to be there, and it's not really there, or like the cinematography of this movie is so well done.
It's great.
Amazing. And so while you watch Carter and Harker walk into the barn, the camera stays still and zooms out towards the door that they just walked into like the foresty darkness that is out there before it goes back to them.
It's so good. You expect someone to be like back in the forest line, like watching them. Like, so it's diverting your eyes to like look for the danger that's there in the background when there isn't any, like 99% of the time.
Right. It's really, it builds a lot of tension.
Yes. It's just so unsettling. You're like, I can't look at a single scene without feeling like there's something that's going to be fucking, it's great.
So they find another X by the stairs that leads up to the loft. And as they're scanning this huge loft, they see something underneath a bunch of hay. And it's a crucifix affixed to the floorboards where Carter has to pry it up. They remove a few floorboards, and in the false floor is a note that he hands to Harker, and then underneath the note there's another false panel that they can lift up, and underneath that is a creepy ass fucking mannequin that they end up taking to the medical examiner. Oh, on the note though, it's that upside down triangle that she drew, except it has a smiley face in the center.
Yeah, and I don't know if we mentioned it, but that triangle is a part of it was a part of like some satanic imagery from that book that Lee was reading, and like the 9 Circles of Hell.
It's an interesting.
So like it's tying into like the fact that this is probably like Satan worship or like something involving the devil, or because even in an earlier note, and I forgot to mention this, but like she's looking at a different note, or maybe it's like she's trying to decode a different set of numbers, but they all line up into being like 666 or something like that. Maybe it was the way the note was written in the birthday card. I can't remember exactly, but she does.
There's a bunch of satanic imagery, and the upside down triangle is from the 9th Circle of Hell book.
Yeah. And
technically in the book, it was an upside down triangle with a circle around it. And then in between the half circles made from the triangle and the circle, it was 666 written.
Yeah, that's right.
Which, at this point, my thought process is, okay, we're doing satanic cult. Got it. Interesting. These families are getting sacrificed for some reason. The dad is getting roped in. Who knows how? Yeah. That's where my thought is currently. But they take the kid, or the mannequin that looks like a kid, to the medical examiner, who does like a full kind of like autopsy of it as much as possible.
He's talking about how nice of a doll it is, and like whoever made it is an expert craftsman, because the porcelain is like really like it's all super detailed, and it's like, the hair is real, what's left of it, and
the brain is like there's this like metal.
There's a metal ball that he found in the head that he calls the brain, that like there's nothing in it, but he puts this like I don't know if it was like an ultrasound thing, or like it
was kind of just like a spatula. It's a really weird, like, because I think it was metal on metal, and so when he touched it, it made like this weird high pitched like sound.
Yeah, like vibrate, like a weird humming almost.
Yeah, and we end up getting a flashback to Longlegs naming the mannequin Carrie Ann.
That's right. Yeah.
The only survivor of the Camera family. Then we follow him going to the convenience store. It is super, super creepy to the maybe 15-year-old girl behind the counter.
You see Longlegs walk into this little like mom and pop store.
I guess we're assuming this is Longlegs. This is the creepy guy from the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. You just assume he's Longlegs because why else would they be showing you this really creepy, weird guy?
Yeah, and it's also like you can tell from like when they actually finally do show his face in the supermarket that like, oh, it's the dude from the beginning too. Yeah. Same clothes, it's that same like
it's very white,
light colored, like
I think in this one he has a cardigan on though.
Yeah, to me my brain is screaming it's like a cream colored jean jacket almost. Like it's
that's what he usually wears, and I don't remember if it's in this scene, but that is his usual jacket he wears.
Yeah, so
that's the director's kid, the girl.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's sitting at the counter and she's like, anything else? And then he like puts his hands on his so he puts his right hand on his left eye.
But over his head.
Yeah, so he like holds his arms over his head and then puts his hands over his opposite eyes. And then
goes cuckoo.
Yeah,
cuckoo.
Starts going cuckoo, cuckoo as he's like flicking his hands upward. It's fucking weird.
And then he's like, when is your birthday? And she's like, Dad, that guy's here again.
Yeah, like, Dad, that creepy fucking guy is here again. And then it cuts to him driving.
Screaming.
And he just suddenly starts screaming. He's like, Mommy, Daddy. He's like, it's fucking creepy. He says something like, unmake me so that I may fucking...
something.
Like, it's weird. And he just like screams, and then the longer he screams, it gets to be like his voice becomes like warbly and like more growly, and like it's a quick process. So it's like
it's weird.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. And then
we get Carter and Harker to the mental institution talking to the director.
And the director of the mental, they're like, the director of the mental institution is like, oh yeah, like Carrie Ann is like, she had a visitor and now suddenly she's like super fucking alive.
Yeah,
and
she's been like catatonic for these past years. And now all of a sudden she got a visitor 2 days ago and she's got like some bright eyes. Like she's got life back in her.
Yeah, and they're like, well, do you know who it was? Like, do you have like a list of who visits? And
they asked if...
Oh, you're good.
They had like checked IDs.
Well, yeah, so they ask if they can see
sorry.
like who
the log.
Yeah, the log. And they look at the log, and the name for that day is Lee Harker. And Lee looks at the director of this mental institution and is like, do you not check IDs? And he's just like, oh, that's probably a good idea, but no, we don't require that. And I'm just like, that's fucking crazy. I mean, I get that this is supposed to be a bit older and like...
That was a thing. They did not care.
People did not give a fuck about people in mental institutions.
No.
Like, not even the workers or the people who house those people gave a fuck about the people in mental institutions. I mean, I'm sure if you saw any kind of ghost adventures, like ghost hunting shit, they'll go to a mental institution and they will talk about how like the patients were horribly mistreated and shit like that. And like, so that's why I'm like, you know what? It makes sense that like...
I'm even surprised the director noticed that she went from catatonic to having pep in her step.
Yes.
Because like usually they don't give two fucks about these people.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. So like, anyways.
Harker goes in to talk to Carrie Ann by herself while Carter stays outside.
Yeah.
Which probably smart move. Having a woman go talk to her because of everything that has happened. And she's sitting there curled up. Carrie Ann is sitting there curled up with her knees flush against her chest. She kind of just like is looking at Harker a little bit and is like, you've been to my house. Or someone who looks exactly like you. And like she has a very specific accent that's being used too that I can't exactly replicate.
She's talking like, older like country folk you'd think would talk.
It's like a stereotypical, like, uneducated country girl would talk.
Yes.
Which is wild because this is based in Oregon.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Harker asks... God,
Carrie Ann.
Yeah, I can't remember what she asks Carrie Ann, though. Like, she's like...
She asks her a bunch of questions, like, who came to see you? Like, what happened?
But then Carrie Ann doesn't even, like...
She doesn't really answer anything.
She's just kind of... Well, yeah, she asks, like, how are you feeling? And she's like, it's, like, dark and just nothing and, like, weird. But she's not, like... She doesn't have the 1,000-yard stare, which is weird because for someone who's in a place like this, usually they have a bit of like that weight under their eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
she looks angry. She's just kind of like sitting there, like don't you think like Carrie Ann's
I did
sitting
not
there
think
just
she
kind of
looked
like
angry.
not necessarily angry, but more of just like
I saw it as more confused because like the way she describes the way she feels is that it was dark and nothing for the longest time until he came to see me.
That's
and
right.
now I would kill you if he asked me.
Yeah,
like
he's like, if he told me to, I'd jump out that window.
The verbiage and like analogies and shit she uses here are so beautifully dark and amazing.
We cannot do this scene justice because the dialogue and how it's written and like
how it's given and
the delivery is what makes this scene. And like it's all in like this would you say like an orangish tint because of the lighting?
Yeah, it's on the warmer side of coloring.
And so it's just like this dark, warm, but like not comforting warm because she's sitting here being like, yeah, I'd literally like rip your fucking throat out with my bare hands right now.
I would jump off this damn building and
I would do it so happily. I would, talking like that.
Yeah, like I would jump off this building and praise God for every inch the ground gets closer to me because it meant that he told me to or something like that. Like it's wild. Like the writing for the scene is insane.
Yeah.
And while she's talking, we get a flashback to her family and like watching, because Harker asks what happened that day, like what happened when your dad killed everyone or something along those lines. We get these flashbacks of her family, but instead of her being there, it's that freaking doll. A doll that looks really similar to her being in all of these situations. So like Carrie Ann is talking about like how my daddy was a good man and, he would have done his best or all this kind of stuff. And
but
instead
like the
of
dad's sitting on the fucking couch in his living room with the doll on his lap.
Yeah.
And like
and something happens, like talks about her mom and her mom's like sitting there with her, but it's the doll. Like every scene that you should see Carrie Ann in, it's the doll.
Yep. And it's weird.
Harker asks Carrie Ann to describe the man. She instead says a lot of weird stuff that I don't have written down. It's another weird monologue of saying a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And then calls Harker a flirty bitch.
That's right. It's very unsettling because, again, Lee does not get any answers.
No, we get like a very interesting...
You get a view of the murderer of the camera family. Well, because it wasn't obviously her. Like, I think it said like she was out on a field trip or something.
Yeah, she was gone. That's the only reason she survived.
But like her dad killed the priest that was at the house and then his wife and then himself. But like when you're watching this happen, you see like the perspective like from the doll because like you see the doll sitting in like this one room and then like the priest like comes in and like looks at the doll and is like, what the fuck? And then like walks out and then like
the mom comes in.
Reels because the dad fucking swings an axe at him. And then the mom walks in as that's happening in the background and like looks at the doll and is like smiling. And then you see the dad coming from behind and fucking hack her in the back before it immediately cuts.
Yeah, which we get more flashbacks of. We got a flashback, I think it was before this, of Longlegs laying a dark blanket over Carrie Ann saying, "You aren't afraid of the dark, you're my strong girl."
That's right.
Or something like that. And so my mind here is like, oh, we're now getting into some dark magic stuff where he threw a blanket over Carrie Ann and that kind of messed with her mind because she was talking about how it was just darkness.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I'm like, okay, so Longlegs is using these dolls for some kind of like magic shit of like, maybe he's trying to like collect their souls or like, because there's a bunch of things in magic about like using dolls as a substitute for a person. And so that's where my mind is right now. I'm thinking like he's some kind of, I don't want to say witch doctor because I don't think that's the right term, but like some kind of witch or magic user that is, I guess we've talked so much about Satan shit. Like he's a satanic practitioner, collecting souls for the devil or something along those lines. We get Harker and Carter talking about the whole doll thing, and Harker is heavily leaning into the satanic magic stuff while Carter is like, bitch, you're crazy. Scientifically, that don't make sense. And he's like leaning really into the scientific side of things. And so they kind of butt heads a little bit here about like what's actually happening. And then he corners her into talking to her mom.
Yeah, he literally is like, he like starts to question Lee about her mom and is like, when's the last time you talked to her? And then like you know, this and that. And
because he is like, your birthday is also
oh yeah,
the 14th.
that's right. So he essentially says that, like, yeah, I talked to your mom and she mentioned, like, back then, like,
I don't know if he talked to her or if he just found the police report.
I thought he said he talked to her.
Because if he talked to her, then why does he need her to go talk to her?
Good question. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. So I think he
dug into her background.
Yeah, that's right. He dug into her background and found a police report about, like,
the day before her 9th birthday, her mom called in a police report about a weird man being on their property, and there was no follow-up.
Yep, and then he reveals that Lee's birthday falls on the 14th.
Yeah, oh, so I do have this in here. Harker's mom giving a phone call in 47 about a pale trespasser on January 13th, the day before Harker's 9th birthday, and the 14th. Yeah, and then he just forces Harker he's like, either I'm bringing your mom in or you're talking to her.
Yeah,
like,
so obviously Harker ends up going to her mom's place, and she goes to, like, talk to her mom, and
mom's a hoarder.
Yeah, mom's a hoarder.
You can see it right off the bat. Like, she's in a bedroom, and behind her, the entire bed is just covered with, like, handbags.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of freaking bags everywhere. And she sits down and, you know, she says, hi, Mom, or whatever. And her mom's like, can I ask you something and you won't lie to me? And she's like, okay, Mom. But, like, every time Harker talks, there's, like, a pause before she talks.
Yeah.
There's, like, a slight pause of, like, she's really thinking about what she's about to say.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom's like, are you still saying your prayers? And Harker's like, I have never once said my prayers. Those things are scary as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she said that, like, your prayers scared me or something like that, which you're like, what? That's fucking weird.
Yeah, and her mom, like, starts hysterically laughing and is like, yeah, I guess that's true. They ain't saved us from nothing or something like that.
Yeah, they ain't saving you from shit anyways. Like, I can't remember exactly how she says it, but
something like that. And then she goes to the kitchen to make mom lunch or tea or something like that. And she hears Harker goes, and Harker hears some weird, like, whispering behind one of the doors in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you see the kitchen is covered in appliance after appliance. And, like, it's interesting because it's not like I don't know a better way, like a dirty hoarder. It's not like trash is piled up everywhere. It's just like things.
Memento.
Yeah, it's very much like just collecting things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not new things either. Like, nothing is in a box or anything like that. It's like maybe used items or things like that.
She sees a bug come out from under the garage door and, like, into the, like, kitchen or whatever. And then she gets, like, flashes of, like, red and, like, snakes, like, winding up to strike and shit. Like, it's like,
again, that's not the first time we've gotten that, like, kind of imagery either. Like, with some of the flashbacks, before we see the actual flashback, we get, like, these red flashes of, like, snakes or, like, blood draining and, like, stuff like that. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we mentioned this, all of the flashbacks are done in the 4:3 8mm aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Except for 2 scenes, which I thought were really cool. We'll get to them here in a second.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm like, which 2 scenes?
But she hears, like, whispering behind this door and goes to grab a key to unlock it because it's locked. And she's like, that's super weird. But obviously there are, like, 50 keys hanging on the key ring. And her mom, like, pulls her out of it before she can actually open the door.
She ends up going upstairs, Lee, because, like, I can't remember if her mom tells her to or not. Isn't she, like, she mentioned something, like, maybe you have some, like, mementos in your room or something like that?
So we get a flashback before that happens of her mom seeing the car drive up to the house. So it's from her mom's perspective.
That's right.
Mrs. Harker watches, like, lights pull up to the house and she's like, what the fuck? Tries to call someone on the phone, but it's a weird voice and static and she's not getting through to anyone. She grabs a shotgun. And then Harker is trying to get into the door at that time. And then she goes back to her mom, and her mom starts talking about the day she was born. And she's like, the day you were born, I just bled and bled and bled and bled and bled and bled. And you're like, okay, I get it. You bled a lot. God damn. And Harker then tries to bring up her 9th birthday. And her mom says, nope, can't remember any of that. No one's ever come to visit us. No one ever visited us. No neighbors. No one.
Yeah.
No family. We were always alone.
Yep.
Her mom says this weird thing about, like, Harker isn't a child anymore because she was allowed to grow up.
Yeah.
She says she may have forgotten everything she could. She might have forgotten everything about the birthday, everything ever, but she had never once thrown anything away. So all of their keepsakes are here, and your stuff is all in your room.
Yeah. So that is what prompts Lee to go upstairs and, like, start looking in her room. And as this is happening, you get, like, cuts of, like, young Lee in her room, like, you know, doing the same thing, and then it cuts to, like,
it's a
present day,
where,
like, Lee is, like, in her room, and she opens up this chest.
It's like a little toy chest.
Yeah, and she thankfully puts on gloves because, again, these pictures are potentially evidence.
She takes it back home. She takes that entire toy chest back home.
Oh, that's right. She takes the whole toy chest back home.
Before she does anything. Yeah. And then, like, sterile environment back at her house. Yeah. Opens it with gloves on, and she finds a stack of Polaroids. Yeah. And is kind of going through them, and we don't really see anything, and she's, like, flipping through. One of them triggers, like,
a flash.
A vision. Like, I went with vision because they're talking about her being psychic. Like, it triggers some, like, memory.
It wasn't a vision. It triggered a memory. So it's like, imagine visual imagery of your fucking neurons firing off when you remember something that you forgot for, like, 20 years. Like, that's what happens very briefly, but it's fucking Longlegs. Like, it's this dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking Nicolas Cage, this fucked up dude that, like, flashes in your face, and she, like, reels back and realizes, like, oh shit, I fucking came in, like this.
He's the one who came to see me, like.
Yes, this dude came to see me, like, holy fuck. It all, like.
Yeah, and in the opening scene, it mentioned Longlegs is like, oh, it's a good thing I have my long legs on today.
Yes.
And so, like, that's the first mention we get of Longlegs. And then so when it flashes back to this memory, she's like, oh my god, it's fucking Longlegs. How did I, like, not connect that? So she tells Carter all of this, gives him the Polaroid, and is like, this is him, like, we have to bring him in. And Carter's like, are you sure you want to do it with just this? And she's like, the photo's good enough for now. And she has to go bring her mom in.
Yeah.
Carter wants her to bring her mom in, and she's like, is the photograph good enough for now? And he agrees that for now, but they are going to need her to come bring her mom in.
So it cuts to Longlegs just standing at a bus stop in the middle of, like, on this road, in the middle of fucking nowhere almost. Police come from both sides, swarm in on him, and arrest him. And then it cuts to the
police interview tape.
Yeah, so it's the police interview tape, and it has the aesthetic of, like, you're watching the actual tape, right? Yeah. It looks really cool the way they set it up.
They have it on an old school TV with Harker and a bunch of FBI agents watching the tape on the old school TV, so they're not watching it live.
Yeah. Well, that isn't it. I think it's a live feed. It's just they're all.
No, it's not a live feed. It's the tape. Sure? Yes, because Agent Browning pauses it, and Harker asks, "How long does that go on for?" And she says, 24 minutes.
That's right. Okay.
So it's they watch the interview, and he's asked for Harker by name by saying Lee Harker, or like, when can I see Lee, or something like that.
Yeah.
He's babbling about her birthday.
Yeah.
How everyone will be at her birthday. He's like looking around the room being like, and you'll be there, and you'll be there, and you'll be there.
Yeah, it's creepy as fuck.
And then he sings Happy Birthday. And that's when he, like, gets through an entire verse of Happy Birthday. And then that's when Agent Browning pauses it. And Lee asks, how long does that go on for? And she says 24 minutes. And it actually did go on for 24 minutes. When they did that scene with Nicolas Cage, he went on for 24 minutes and no one cut.
Jesus.
So that whole section is actually 24 minutes long.
I wonder if they have that out there somewhere. Like, if you could fucking
just watch it.
So, like, just see what he ranted about for 20 minutes.
God, that's wild.
That'd be scary, in my opinion. But
yeah,
it's crazy because, you know, they pause it, and then, like, it's Carter and Lee, and then what's her name? This other, like, detective lady who
I don't know who she is, because I thought that, because when we first see Agent Browning, we only see her profile, and so it took me a second to realize that this is a different female FBI agent, and I don't know who she is. I think she might be a profiler or like a psychologist or something.
There's like she's Lee and Carter and this specialist are all talking, and it's cool because the way that they have it set up is Carter's sitting on a chair with his back facing the TV, but when the camera cuts to Carter, you see, like, the image of Longlegs in the TV behind him, just, like, with a creepy ass face, because he's, like, mid talking or, like, mid making some sort of weird noise. And so, like, you get this freeze frame of Longlegs almost, like, creeping over Carter as they're having this conversation.
It's so weird because, like, I missed that, and that because I was writing notes at this point, and like, we had to rewind it.
Yeah,
and I caught it the second time. But they're having this whole, like, conversation about how his bags were all full of notebooks talking about worshiping Satan, and Harker quotes the Revelation, what are they called? Passage? Revelation passage. And the female FBI agent is like, oh, Revelations. And she's like, Revelation? There's no S. And I was like,
Oh.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't fucking know that either.
But she tells them she hardcore believes that Longlegs has an accomplice. She does not believe he's doing this by himself, and no one believes her.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, how is he doing it? Like, why do you have to keep hammering on this? We have him. Like, let's just fucking end the case. And she's like, no, like, I'm gonna go talk to him.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if we mentioned it earlier, but they talk about, like, she's trying to figure out who the potential accomplices are, right?
Yes.
By being like, is it the husband? No, okay, it's not the husband. Maybe it's the kid somehow,
Yeah, she
like,
talks about, like, how it has to be someone that they trusted and, like, would willingly let in, or, like,
yeah.
how did he get to the kids? Like, she's going down all of these possibilities. This entire time she's believed that he has an accomplice, and Carter does not want to listen about an accomplice.
Yeah.
She wants to talk to Longlegs.
Yeah, well, because he asked for her.
He did ask for her,
But
but
then
then
she
she's
also was
like,
like,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I-
go fucking talk to him.
Mhm.
Like, where is he? And they're like, right below your damn feet. And so she ends up going down there, and this interview is the first time the actress who plays Harker saw Nick Cage at all.
Oh my god.
So, like, one of the promotional things for this, I guess, was they strapped like a heart rate monitor to her.
Mm.
And so you can literally, like, hear her heart rate go up and, like, play the entire thing of when she first sees Nick
Damn,
Cage in the
that's
makeup.
crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I love it, because we talked about this with Hellfest.
Mhm.
The, like, genuine reactions you can get out of actors if you don't
Yeah.
tell them exactly what's happening.
Yeah, well, and like you can really feel that. Well, like when she walks in the room, you can tell that like it's so like if I was that actress, I thought to myself like I don't know how I'd be able to walk into that room and keep composure and act and remember my lines when like
That's happening
this
in front
dude
of you.
in front of me, like, because what is, like, he starts talking, like, he's like, oh my god, like, you're finally here.
The birthday girl's here, like, all this kind of stuff. Like, he goes on a whole thing.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
don't
like,
even remember a lot of what he said.
I
'cause
don't
it's
either,
Just
and then-
fucking, it's creepy shit.
And then we get
he's-
flashbacks, too, of him being like, her mom being like, who are you? And he's like, I'm a friend of a friend of a friend. Like, the man downstairs. Like, it's a whole thing.
yeah,
This whole interrogation thing is, like,
he's
wild.
like, you can even call him Mr. Downstairs.
Yeah,
and I'm
and-
like, no.
And for,
No.
like, the first part, he's very, like, watery, very emotional
Mhm.
with, like, the first part of the interview. But when he gets to, like, because he talks about how, like, oh, we laughed so hard when we found out you were going into law enforcement. Well, at least
Yeah.
I laughed. She didn't laugh. And Harker's like, who's she? And so they kind of, like, try to do this back and forth thing. But as the interview goes on, his name's Cobble.
yeah,
His Longlegs' his real last name. His
Dale
voice,
Ferdinand Cobble is his full name, but
It's-
like,
dumb.
yeah,
His voice gets deeper, so he loses all of the emotion and it gets like
Mhm.
really freaking deep.
yeah,
And Harker just is like, who are you working with? Which sends him into this weird storytelling, talking about the cameras and Harker's mom. Yeah, so
is
like,
this where it's revealed? Well, so
Mm-mm.
okay, well,
So-
cut that out.
so he tells the whole thing about the cameras and what happened, and then
Mhm.
like how he ended up going to see Harker and her mom, and how she was the 7th child
that's
that
right.
he came to like do whatever with. He said, she's like, you're gonna rot in here or something. He's like, and my work may be done, but that doesn't mean I'll be stuck here. He's everywhere. Something like that.
Yeah.
And she asks him who the man downstairs is, but he says to ask her mom for that information.
Yeah,
Then he says, Hail Satan, and starts bashing his head into the metal table in front of
Yep.
him.
he's just like, hail Satan, and then he just starts slamming his face into
And-
the table.
The
And-
agent's reaction is so fucking slow. Like, the agents from outside trying to come in and stop him, they took so long, he ends up killing himself by bashing his face into this table.
Yeah, well, I mean, she like Lee backs up against the wall, and there's like blood splatter all around her and like the walls and stuff because it's just like it's violent.
It's
He goes ham.
very purposeful.
It's fucking crazy.
And then we get the
Um,
black screen with part 3, Birthday Girls.
Yep, and
Carter
Um,
is blaming Harker for Cobble's death. That is what it opens with. Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck could you do that? Like, blah, blah, blah. This all happened. We had him and we lost him because of you. And you know what? Carrie Ann jumped off the building and killed herself. And that's also your fault. And, like, blames her for everything that's happening. And Browning's there watching this all happen. And she's like, I'm driving you home. Let's go pick up your mom. Because
Mhm.
she now has to bring her mom in.
yeah,
Because of him being like, well, ask your mom who the downstairs bitch is. Like,
Mhm.
so Browning's like, I will drive you. We can go pick up your mom. like we'll figure it out. And you know, they have a little like heart-to-heart moment where Browning's like, I'm not gonna let you go through that by yourself, like, you know, I'm like here for you. And she's like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to come in? Whatever. Browning ends up staying in the car.
Yeah.
And
Lee goes into her mom's house and is like looking around. Well, you see a cut to Officer Browning in the car, and then all of a sudden, like, there's movement behind her, and you see Lee's mom,
Mrs. Harker,
walk up to the driver's side door and hold a shotgun up, and then it cuts to Lee, and you hear a gunshot.
Yep.
And Lee walks over to a window and looks out, and her mom is now like on the other side of the car and puts another shot
in Browning,
or what's left of Browning. Obviously, Lee fucking panics, and she's like, what the fuck?
Harker like runs back downstairs and is trying to find where her mom went.
That's right.
She, like,
she goes
up
outside.
To her mom's no longer by the car.
Yeah.
And so she's like looking around the property, and Mrs. Harker is standing with her shotgun pointing at a doll that looks exactly like 9-year-old Harker.
Yeah, with the pigtails and like the red and yellow jacket, like same, like doll is a
carbon copy, porcelain version of Harker. And
her mom looks at Harker and is like, looks at Lee and is like, you finally got him or something like that.
Yeah,
and
like,
then
it's a weird interaction. It's only like a 1 or 2 sentence thing before
she shoots the head of the doll,
and black smoke comes out of the doll and out of Lee Harker's head before she collapses on the ground. Yeah,
you hear like a whining noise, and like, you know, she's like, the fuck's happening? And like she faints because like you see this head of the doll and like it's emitting this black smoke out of that like ball that was in her head.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like
the flashback.
Lee faints, and then it's a flashback.
Yep.
It is
the White House in the snow from the beginning. It's Mrs. Harker telling the story about the first time Cobble came to visit. So her and Lee are lying in bed, and she's talking about how like a mother and a daughter lived in a big house all by themselves, and no family came to visit, no friends came to visit, and they were all alone or something until one day the doll maker came.
Yep.
Or something like that. And he said he was from the church and that they had won. It's this whole like thing, and she ends up calling his work the work of the devil, with a little bit of him in every one of the dolls, and that's like the weird metal marble thing.
Yeah, and so like she's essentially explaining that like he fucking curses these dolls somehow, and he really wanted Lee for himself, or like the devil wanted Lee all for himself.
Yeah, it's really weird. This explanation right now.
When you watch the movie, it strings together very well. Our explanations make it sound like a shit fucking movie, but like it's not. You have to just watch it and see how
the red strings well.
Yes, and it's because of the specific way the dialogue is written, and like how the scenes play out, and how the actors compose themselves in these scenes. Like it's hard for us to explain truly, like
without verbatim quoting
like,
dialogue. There is no way we could give this movie justice in the way it strings together its story.
Yeah. To watch this movie. We're not even done with it, but I'm telling you to watch it.
So she also explains how the doll made Lee forget and shows her where to look and what to see and what not to see and all these kinds of things. And, you know, like how you said, the devil wanted the girl for his own. And she's telling this to baby Harker. Or little Lee Harker at 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah, Lee's mom is essentially like
making a children's like bedtime story out of the hell they're going through.
Yeah, and you come to find out that like she makes a deal with Cobble to save Lee. But the deal is that she has to dress up as a nun and
deliver these
dolls to these families, and
a gift from a church.
A gift from the church, and she just has to make sure that it happens. Yeah,
the devil is hidden inside the dolls, and her job was to watch everything happen to make sure it happened the way the devil wanted. So she had to watch everyone die.
when they show, like, I can't remember the first time they show it, but like I think it's an image of Lee as a kid, and like behind her is this giant fucking shadow
Mm-hmm.
of like Satan. It's like this fucking like horned like demon thing. And then when you're seeing these images of like these older families getting murdered because of like what Lee's mom does, it cuts to one of them, and like it's got the doll that they gave to, was it the camera family?
No, I think it was one of the throwaway families that we
But
don't really
like
get to know about.
the doll has this black, like it's got that black like sheet over it,
Mm-hmm.
but you see like a face inside of it.
Yeah,
And
it's like got the
these
glowing
fucking
eyes.
yellow like demon eyes, and you can like barely make out a face. That
Well, it
shit's,
might have been the camera family.
shit's creepy.
It's really
as
creepy.
fuck.
And there are hidden Satan shadows throughout this entire fucking movie.
Yeah, so like you see shadows like creeping in, follow like with a groan following like in certain scenes. It's like Satan is everywhere.
Yeah, I can't remember how many there are, but there are a bunch of hidden scenes with where like you can I've seen a few. I didn't watch them, but I saw like a few videos of like finding all of the hidden Satans within this movie and that kind of stuff because of how much there is of him being hidden around.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get like the flashback of all of that.
Also, is it you may have to cut this, and I'm sorry. Is it also explained here that like he was like it was like the doll, like her doll, and like Satan leading her the whole time? Like it wasn't necessarily psychic powers.
So it kind of explains that when I said he tells her where to look and what to forget, like the doll.
That's right. Yeah.
So yes. So the doll doesn't. Harker doesn't have psychic powers.
The doll she had a connection with the doll,
which is in turn Satan.
Which Satan lives in those dolls. So like she had a connection with Satan. So when the entire time in this movie, when she's talking about like these psychic powers and like being led in the right direction by something,
it's Satan.
It's fucking Satan. Which again, like you think back to the beginning, and she's like, yeah, like I don't know, like it's not like a tingle. Like I feel like someone's leading me in the right direction. You're like,
yep, you're getting led by the hand by Satan.
I fucking hate that.
And this is the part, so it goes from that to adult Harker lying in a bed in that same 8mm aspect ratio. And as this scene happens, it grows to the standard full screen aspect ratio. So we get from flashback to now times, and she is in freaking Longlegs' bedroom that we've seen so many times before. And we find out it's the basement of her mom's fucking house.
It's their own fucking basement.
So that room she was trying to get into earlier was where Longlegs has been living.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking crazy. She wakes up, obviously, and she wakes up to the sound of a phone ringing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And so she runs upstairs and answers it, and it's this like grumbly, like growly, distorted voice, and it's like, you're late for Ruby's birthday party. And she's like, what the fuck? And oh my god,
it's the 14th, 13th.
I think it's the 13th.
Because the one date they were missing was the 13th. So I don't know if this is the day before or the day of Ruby's birthday. But anyway, she runs outside and she uncovers a car that is fucking Longlegs' car.
It's literally Longlegs' fucking jalopy that you saw him driving in the beginning.
And she drives straight to Carter's house, and she does it's the what's the word I'm looking for? The comparison of Longlegs screaming in his car.
Yes.
And then she also does a whole just guttural scream in this car.
Yeah, she's literally fucking hauling it to Carter's house and just starts screaming. And again, like you said, it's like the fucking
juxtaposition, the comparison. I don't know the right word.
The mirroring or whatever.
Yeah, mirroring might be the best one.
It's really cool, but
it's
she gets there.
She knocks on the door, and Mom opens the door.
Yeah, her fucking mom, or no,
not her mom, but Miss Ruby's mom.
Miss Ruby's mom. Sorry, my brain.
No, you're good. I don't remember her name. Anne. Thank you. It's written later in my notes. Anne is Carter's wife. Mm-hmm. Anne opens the door and it's like, "Oh, you're just in time." And this place does not
We
look
just
like
started
there's
opening gifts.
yeah, like you're right in time for presents, and this place does not look like it's ready for a 9-year-old girl's birthday party.
No.
There's no one else there. There's no decorations in the hallway. And then she walks into the family room, and her fucking mom is dressed like a nun, sitting in the middle of a fucking love seat. And then over on the other love seat is little Miss Ruby staring lovingly at her own doll that looks exactly like her. And then Anne sits down next to Carter, and it's like this. It feels more like an intervention than a birthday party.
Yes.
And in here there are some decorations. There's like a happy birthday in pink and some balloons, but it's still really fucking creepy.
But like Carter is visibly like angry.
Yeah.
Like he like even tells Lee to shut the fuck up at one point because like she says something, or I think she like comments on the bullshit and he just like shuts her down. He's just like, shut the fuck up, like, you know.
Yeah, and then does the same shit to his wife. And we already saw earlier how like he treats his wife very well. He's very even tempered in front of his wife, all that kind of stuff. And we see like she says something about like, oh, like you like it's time for cake or whatever, and he's like, I'll have to go get a knife to cut those cakes. And she's like, do you have to? And he's like, do I fucking have to cut the cakes you just told me to fucking get? Yeah, I fucking have to cut the cakes.
Yeah.
And he's like, come with me to the kitchen. And she's
It's
like, oh,
very
we'll be right
uncomfortable.
back. And he's like, I will be. Or something like that. Like
Yeah.
the dialogue right there is really nice. And while that's happening, Harker is talking, like looks at her mom. And
It's like, stop fucking doing this. And because like Longlegs is dead, right? Like,
yeah, like who are you doing this for?
Yeah, and
her mom's like, I did it so you could grow up. Everything I've done is for you to like live. And her voice gets super distorted, and she recites the whole chunk of 13:1
yeah,
or 13 whatever from Revelation, and
It's
then
like,
ends
I will
it with
stand
it
on
with
the sea, or I will stand on the sand and look out at the sea, and I will see a beast rise out of the sea, and it has all these horns, and on all these horns is all these crowns, and you know, it's like that whole like.
You remembered way more than I did.
I just that's not that is loosely what it is.
Yeah, and
But
she ends it with a Hail Satan, and Harker shoots.
she gets up to try and stab Harker, but fucking.
Oh, Harker shoots Carter first.
Oh, that's right, because Carter comes in with a knife and starts charging it.
Oh yeah, this whole time you can hear Carter killing his wife in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
sorry. Okay, this scene's fucking crazy.
There's so much
Obviously, there's a
happening in this
lot
scene.
happening. So like Carter and his wife go into the kitchen, and then very shortly after you hear stabbing and stuff, and Lee's just like, oh, and that's when she turns to her mom and is like, you need to like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then Carter comes out of the kitchen and starts walking towards Lee
with the knife, and she shoots him in both shoulders, and he goes down, and then she shoots her mom in the head, and then
she goes to turn to look at like,
she grabs like Ruby from the doll.
yeah, she steals Ruby away from the doll and then is like puts her behind her and then points the gun at the doll to like shoot it in the head.
Mm-hmm. And it just clicks.
And it just clicks.
Once,
there's no
twice, 3 times. And I was like, how's she out of bullets? And then apparently
3 bullets total.
And out of a revolver.
Yeah, 1 into your mom, 2 into Carter.
Apparently the gun jammed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I had to read into this because I was like, how the fuck she did good shots. Yeah. She was not wasting ammunition anywhere.
That, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah, it was like
because this scene, like, she goes to shoot the doll in the head, but nothing happens, and it's almost like the sick, cruel joke.
Yep.
At the sick, cruel punchline at the end of the joke, but it hasn't been a joke. It's been a fucking serial killer the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, holy shit. And so she doesn't even say anything. She says
just like there's like a tear running down her cheek, and then it shows Cobol.
Yeah, it cuts back to Longlegs in the fucking interrogation room.
Yeah, but he's singing "Happy Birthday," and then it's him smiling, saying "Hail Satan," and then it cuts.
He gives a kiss to the camera, and then it cuts. And that's the end of the movie.
That was the end of the movie. Okay, so 1 plot hole. How did Carter not remember his own daughter's damn birthday?
Was this earlier on when?
Any of it. This entire movie. They talk about his daughter's birthday, and there's an active serial killer going for families with the daughter's birthday on the 14th, and he glosses over it. I give Harker a pass because she's already devil possessed.
Yes,
plot hole, or Another theory was this was all part of Satan's plan, and he was like doing the whole like wool over your eyes thing with Carter already.
That's interesting. Because like, yeah, I don't know, because there's a part of me that thinks that like there's some of that imagery that I feel like is not, like, I almost want to say, I almost feel like the doll is given.
But she doesn't have the doll yet. Like, what is the excuse for Carter's family not recognizing that Ruby's birthday is on the 14th? With an active killer happening right now. My wife was like, he's a shitty dad and is an FBI agent, and it didn't even correlate it. And like that's a semi-excuse. Someone in Reddit was like the wool over the eyes, like Satan's already pulling all of the strings to exactly what he wants to happen, so it didn't matter.
Well, so think about it this way. If you are spearheading a project, like, not a project, a team like this, and like a case like this, like you are the head of it, and like, yes, that is one of the parameters. Yes, your daughter is, like, she does have a birthday on the 14th, but like, first of all, there's not much you can do besides like chase the perp, first of all, and like continue your work as a detective.
Mm-hmm.
You also, like, I don't know, I feel like being in that position of power, you almost feel like you have the power to like
stop it.
Yes, like if that were to be something that, you know, shrouds over my family at some point, I have the resources and the knowledge to deal with something like this because I'm the fucking head of, you know, this like FBI team. You know what I mean?
So
like,
I guess that's fair. It's not really a plot hole. It's just
having a lot of it's having.
If I catch the killer before my daughter's birthday, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I also think that's partially why, like, you see, like, as this case goes on, and like, you also have to remember that, like, it did almost feel like there was an urgency to it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, like, after Longlegs was caught, that's when he was like, yeah, dude, it's fucking over. Like, you know, I hate how it all ended, but like, it's fucking done. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. That is a plot hole. I'm not discrediting that at all. I'm just saying,
I think you actually changed my mind. I don't think it's a plot hole. I think it's what you're right. What would he have done? Right? Like, I think maybe it could have been a plot point.
If it was just a dude, like if it was just a civvy who like knew that this was a case that was happening, like, yeah, I'd understand wanting to like go to the police and be like, my daughter's birthday's on the 14th. We need protection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when
like,
you're
when
head
you're
of
the
the
head of
fucking
the
FBI, or at least this sector of it,
then you're like, no, like I got people I'll call if this motherfucker
like
shows
I'm here, right?
Like
what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
I just think maybe there would have been more urgency.
He
especially
doesn't call the police. He is the like
right.
You know.
I just think maybe there would have been a little bit more urgency in like they could have used it differently, especially after Longlegs calls Lee by name and they realize Lee and him have a connection for, like earlier on, right? Like, oh my god, he knows people in the police force. What's to stop him from knowing my daughter's birthday?
I also, at that point, if I was in his shoes, I would be sitting there thinking, oh, it all makes sense, because at one point he does like he makes the comment of like, oh, you show up and all of a sudden this case is flowing like hot lava.
Yeah,
like, you know, at that point in his brain, it has nothing to do with him or even his daughter. It has everything to do with Lee and unfortunately the families beforehand that had died leading up to this moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I think that has changed my mind. That's a
stretch, but I want to believe that.
No, that fits better. Okay, thoughts. You love this movie.
I do, but we've talked about this before. I'm not picky. I'm not super hard to impress. I'm not the easiest to impress because obviously I'll pick out like Hellfest. Not a great movie.
Yeah. We bashed Hellfest and 28 Weeks Later quite a bit.
It wasn't like I was like, oh my god, it's so great and it's so scary. But this, something about satanic imagery and like the thought of like the devil himself being behind like the evil like that is scary to me, because like, you know, that is the ultimate evil. That is the ultimate like.
Interesting. Okay, so that's where the movie loses me.
Really?
I loved the first 2/3 of this movie. I loved the fact that like something might be paranormal, like it might be like a more of a possession, like Longlegs might be possessed by the devil. Loved all of that until the end where it's like the devil is in everything and, you know, it's impossible to beat. And I don't know if it's just because we just got off of Weapons and we already had to deal with like a satanic panic religious type thing. Like I feel like I'm kind of burnt out on Satan movies.
That's fair.
And I'm not like I'm not an Abrahamic religious, like that's not my religion.
Yeah, I'm not either.
And yeah, so like a lot of this, I know someone in Reddit was like, "Oh, like I was raised Christian." And so like the devil being behind shit like really freaks me out because like that's my belief system and I totally get that. And like again, really liked the movie. I just think like it loses me a bit once the devil is everywhere because then like what the fuck is the point of the dolls? Like it kind of just like brings up things of like if the devil can be anywhere, why do you have to have these weird ass dolls to channel him?
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. Like I don't know. For me too, it's like I don't know, because again, I'm not religious like that. Like I grew up in a family that like I was,
Same.
you know,
Yeah.
born into those beliefs and traditions, but I didn't hold on to them myself.
Well, and I was
But
raised in Baptist Christianity, and I don't know if you know anything about the differences there, but anything that is even remotely witchy, demon, like any type of magic shit like that is instantly satanic and terrible. Like my mom burned my great grandmother's tarot cards. Like that type of anything like that is satanic.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know if I just got numb from all of the Satan stuff, like everything being Satan, everything Satan. Oh, this is Satan, that's Satan, that's Satan. And so like it kind of lost me at the end of just being like everything is Satan. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I think, you know, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of it probably does have to deal with like the ambiguity of it all and like how Satan plays into it all, because as all we know about it is that like he, you know, he possesses those dolls in a way, or like he's in those dolls like, you know, fucking with these families actively.
Yeah.
Oh God, I lost my train of thought. Wow, that sucks. Oh.
See, I will do my point of view then, and if your thought comes back to you, we can jump back to it. I think I would have liked it a lot more if Longlegs made like a possession deal with the devil and was just a serial killer with some satanic powers. I think I would have enjoyed that a lot more for an ending, and like, you know, maybe a Jason Voorhees style, like you try to kill him and he doesn't die type thing or something like that at the end, and kind of leaving it more. Not more open-ended, because the ending of this was still open-ended, right? Like the doll didn't die.
Yeah.
But I think I might have been more okay with that and like would have liked the movie better. Just like I think it was too much ambiguity for me on like how these dolls play into everything, that I felt like they had so much thrown at the wall that they didn't know how to tie it in at the end. Because the dolls were super creepy, don't get me wrong. Like the dolls were super creepy. Loved like the imagery they played into it, but it's not what I thought. It's not how I thought the movie would wrap up, I guess.
Yeah. No, I get it. The ending is definitely like, it's not a neatly wrapped bow on top of, you know, the gift. It's I mean, it's an Amazon box that arrived on your doorstep fine, but it's like nothing super fancy that's all like tied up and, you know,
neatly done.
Again, because at the beginning of this episode, we mentioned like it's a pretty point A to point B, because it's a like a mystery thriller,
movie with a satanic paranormal aspect thrown in. And we just went on a whole thing about how amazing the writing is. I love the dialogue. I love all of the red string effect. I think just like where the red string ended up wasn't my favorite. I still like this movie and I probably will watch it again. It's not on the top of my rewatch, but like I will, like, if someone wants to watch this, like I'm super 100% down to watch this. Like I will watch this again.
Yeah, if someone's like, man, I want to watch a movie about some creepy satanic bullshit, I'll be like, have you seen Longlegs? And if they're like, no, I'll be like, you should probably watch Longlegs.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah. It's creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
like,
super creepy.
It is a scary movie.
I just think like because of the whole like Satan thing at the end, that's where it kind of lost the creep factor for me.
Yeah, you and I are also very desensitized to a lot of stuff like that. So I think it was easier for like normal people to go see that movie and be like, that was so terrifying.
Yeah.
That like I can't sleep for a week, and it's like I can sleep. But
I'll be
it was fucking scary.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
Ugh.
It was decently split, honestly, on like whether or not people liked it on Reddit too.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was like less. I went on a few, I dive into a few like, subreddits here and there, and it was split. Like every time I went on them, there was 50-50 just about of people being like, God, this movie sucked. And then people being like, no, I really enjoyed it. And so.
I don't know, man. Again, like.
I give it a solid like 7.
Yeah.
7, 8. Like.
I'd give it an 8, but that's because, again, I'm easier to please. But it's also like, I'm sorry.
It's a really good movie.
It's easy to find things to hate in things nowadays, but like, it's also like just so much nicer existing when like you enjoy things. You enjoy things. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry if you choose to hate this movie, that's fine, but like, I'm gonna choose to continue to enjoy it for the rest of my fucking life.
Exactly.
Like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah. No. I think this is one of the movies that we don't have a lot of like nitpicking to do with practicals or like script wise or anything like that. Like, honestly, it just loses me at the end. I love everything about this movie. I think it's fantastic. I just wish it had a different ending.
It is like, yeah, it's messy, but not discoordinated, if that makes sense. Like, it's
purposefully, it's like organized chaos.
Yes, it is 100% organized chaos. And I think to me, that's why the ending maybe falls a little bit short, is because like that type of intensity and like what they were going for, that is kind of hard to like tie into something that people aren't just going to be like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Which is probably why the director left a lot of open-ended stuff, because like some of that stuff does teeter along the line of like, well, this can either be really cool or really scary, or it can just be overplayed and fucking dumb, or like,
right.
It's very easy to like lose the tone of the movie towards the end if you just start like throwing in shit to fill in these plot holes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I again thoroughly enjoyed it. Y'all should watch it. I know I got it recommended to me a shit ton when it first came out, and I'm just getting around to it.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and threads at No Self Service Pod. Until next time.